It's Wednesday, February 5th, and this is now on HNN.
Breaking news, President Donald Trump has just been acquitted by the Senate. We have a reporter standing by on Capitol Hill to tell us exactly what happened.
U.S. citizens who were stranded in China during the coronavirus epidemic are back in the United States. I'm Danya Backus with the extreme measures some countries are taking to protect their citizens.
This as senators say the feds have not been communicating with local officials about the virus.
You have to work with state and local government, and they just didn't.
It's the video everyone is talking about, and we'll describe it to you. A plane in Istanbul crashes, breaking into at least 3 pieces.
These stories plus will take you to Kansas City, where the Super Bowl victory party continues. Coming up on This Is Now.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're coming to you a little bit late this afternoon because of the impeachment vote. We've been bringing you live coverage of that all morning. We're going to have more on that in just a bit. But first, we want to get to some other news of the day. A lot going on, right, Ashley?
That's right. We're going to start with the latest on the coronavirus. So Hawaii Senators Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono were briefed by members of the Trump administration this morning on the federal response to the outbreak. Now, Schatz and Hirono say federal officials have not been communicating with local leaders about the outbreak.
My airport manager, my governor, my lieutenant governor, my infectious disease specialist back home found out that Honolulu would be one of the sites through media reports. There were flights in the air after the order was implemented by a half an hour, and they didn't know which flights were going to be landing and where individuals potentially infected were going to be going. So we are in the process of untangling all of this, but the coordination was not just minimal, it was zero. And if you're going to do a public health response, you have to work with state and local government, and they just didn't.
Brian and I are going to follow up with the concerns we have about the need for better communication. And also, we need resources and logistical support that our state is saying they're not getting.
Now, Daniel K. Inouye International Airport serves as one of 11 airports in the nation designated to accept travelers who need enhanced screening. We've asked the Centers for Disease Control for comment on the situation, but have not gotten a response yet. Meanwhile, a 12th case of the coronavirus has been confirmed in the U.S., this one in Wisconsin. Meanwhile, U.S. citizens who were stranded in China during the outbreak are now back on U.S. soil today. Here's Danya Backus.
Hundreds of Americans evacuated from China touched down north of San Francisco this morning in 2 planes at Travis Air Force Base. One plane refueled and traveled on to Miramar Marine Corps Air Station in San Diego. The evacuees will be held in quarantine for 2 weeks. More than 500 Americans have been airlifted from Wuhan, but time may be running out for U.S. citizens still there. The State Department confirms that after tomorrow, no more flights are planned. An American citizen is among 10 passengers who tested positive for coronavirus on a cruise ship off Japan. The patients have been removed, while the remaining 3,700 passengers will be confined to their cabins for 2 weeks.
The people I feel really sorry for are those with inside cabins who've got no natural light, no fresh air. It's going to be pretty grim for them for 2 weeks.
Worldwide, more than 24,000 people are infected with the virus. Most of them are in China, where social media posts show the tough measures authorities are taking. This woman is said to have been arrested in a grocery store for refusing to wear a mask. In another case, a woman gets into a fight and is beaten after reportedly refusing to have her temperature taken. Other videos claim to show authorities dragging people away after showing symptoms of the coronavirus. And with striking medical workers calling for action, Hong Kong will now require all people coming from mainland China to undergo 14 days of quarantine. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Wow, really disturbing video there. They were talking about that cruise ship in that story right there. And we actually have learned that there's 2 local residents that are stuck and quarantined there. Our Lacey Denise has been following that story.
An Eva Beach couple is among thousands quarantined on a cruise ship off Japan after 10 people on the vessel tested positive for the deadly coronavirus. Eric and Deborah Pagan spent the last 2 weeks traveling around Asia. That all changed on Tuesday when the ship's captain made the announcement.
We're feeling okay. Last night at dinner, people were kind of talking about it, and prior to this, I could sense some people were feeling a little nervous about the situation.
Since then, they haven't been able to leave their room, but the crew is delivering food and water.
I've been in this room just waiting for further updates from the captain.
In all, 3,700 crew and passengers on the ship will be quarantined on board for up to 14 days. The 10 passengers who tested positive for the virus have been taken to hospitals. Right now, Eric's main concern is his daily medication.
I have some medicine I take, but I'll probably be good for another 2-3 days. That's about it. Then just gotta go without it.
And that was Lacey Denise reporting. Now, again, there are still no confirmed, not even suspected cases of coronavirus here in Hawaii, but the medical community says it's well stocked and trained if that changes. We also got a look inside a Waikele bunker where protective healthcare equipment is being stored. Among the items there are masks, respirators, and full body suits in case hospitals or other medical facilities run out. Here's Hilton Rathiel. He's the president of the Healthcare Association of Hawaii.
So this is basically for what we call a surge, which is when you get beyond any type of normal event that these supplies would be put into use. This is like insurance, you hope you never use it, but you do need to be prepared.
Now, the state is also preparing informational pamphlets for residents to be distributed starting on Friday.
All right, let's move on to some other news of the day. We've been talking about the impeachment. We were bringing live coverage all day, and we want to get to the very latest on that.
That's right. So President Trump has just been acquitted by the Senate in the historic impeachment trial. Votes were largely along party lines, and Trump was found guilty on both articles. That's abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Here's Natalie Brand.
The Senate adjudges that the respondent, Donald John Trump, President of the United States, is not guilty as charged.
In an historic vote, the Republican-led Senate acquitted President Trump on Article 1, abuse of power, and on Article 2, obstruction of Congress.
My faith is at the heart of who I am.
Earlier, Utah Republican Mitt Romney made an impassioned speech to announce his decision. He voted guilty on abuse of power.
Were I to ignore the evidence that has been presented and disregard what I believe my oath and the Constitution demands of me, for the sake of a partisan end, it would, I fear, expose my character to history's rebuke.
Mitt Romney's wrong occasionally. He's wrong in this case.
Moderate Democrats Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, and Doug Jones stuck with their party and voted to convict the president.
Our country deserves better than this.
House Democrats say investigations into the Trump administration will continue regardless of the outcome of the Senate trial.
House Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler has indicated he wants to subpoena former National Security Advisor John Bolton after the Senate voted down a resolution to call him as a trial witness. According to a New York Times report, Bolton writes in an upcoming memoir that President Trump personally asked him to pressure Ukraine on investigations into the Democrats. President Trump has denied the allegations. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And President Trump delivered his third State of the Union address last night and had no mention of the impeachment vote. It's a Congress that is very much divided by both policies as well as the impeachment fight. Here's Deborah Alfarone.
From President Trump's apparent snub of Speaker Nancy Pelosi's handshake,
I don't even know if the president saw the speaker's hand,
to her tearing up a copy of the speech when it was over.
As far as I'm concerned, the shredder wasn't available, and so she did what she needed to do.
The partisan divide was on full display last night. President Trump laid out the accomplishments of his administration and made his case for another 4 years in office.
Jobs are booming, incomes are soaring, poverty is plummeting.
The president also delivered several made-for-TV moments, awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh and orchestrating a surprise reunion for a military family.
Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And meanwhile, we have the latest results from the Iowa caucuses, with 75% of the precincts reporting. They show former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg still in the lead with 26.8% of the votes. Senator Bernie Sanders is right behind him with 25.1% of the votes, followed by Senator Elizabeth Warren, who has 18.2%. However, Sanders is ahead in the popular vote tally. The Iowa Democratic Party is releasing results on a rolling basis after officials said that an app they were using to report precinct results had a coding error.
All right, I want to get to the video that everyone's talking about this morning. Let's get you right to it. This is a surveillance video from Turkey. Now check this out. For our podcast listeners, I'm going to describe it to you. Here we see a jet skidding off the runway. You can just see it. It almost looks like some sort of flames there as it skids and comes to a stop. Now what we know from Turkey's health minister is that one person has passed away and 157 more were injured. Right now we're looking at video of the wreckage. We're told it was broken into at least 3 pieces, the plane there. The plane belongs to the low-cost aircraft carrying airline Pegasus. And you know, we're going to continue to follow this story all day long. We're going to have the latest coming up at 5:30. Incredible video there. Sad to hear that one person did indeed pass away. Initially, we did not think there was any fatalities, but with that many injured, it might be expected to see more. All right, let's move on to other news. I'm going to take you outside now. Here at home, we have a chance of thunderstorms today. Let's check in with Guy Hoggy for the very latest.
How's it on this Wednesday? I'm Guy Hoggy with your HawaiiNewsNow.com forecast. Over the last several days, we've been tracking this front, and it's on the move now. It's dropping some heavy rain over on Kauai and some prefrontal showers here on Oahu. So it's going to be a damp day for Kauai. They could get some thunderstorms, although so far this morning we haven't detected any lightning strikes, but more rain is on the way for Kauai. And that front is going to move onto Oahu by this afternoon, although this morning we have some prefrontal showers ahead of the front. Look at some downpours out towards the east side, and there are more showers down to the south moving this way. So it's going to be a damp day for the leeward side and south sides of Oahu. Now, we are expecting those increasing showers to come later today, as well as increasing northerly winds once that front moves through. For today, for most of the state, we have light and variable winds. In fact, this morning, basically dead calm for a handful of spots. Now, the surf will be washed out pretty soon up in the country with those north winds coming in. We've got 5 to 8 footers on the way up today. We've got swells coming today, tomorrow, and Friday. But because of those northerly winds coming in, all of these swells will have stormy, unrideable conditions. Better conditions in town by tomorrow, but keep in mind, we could get some brown water advisories posted for many areas associated with all that runoff from the rain. So increasing showers today, running towards the Big Island and Maui tomorrow, and increasing northerly winds with some very chilly temperatures drying up sometime over the weekend. Keep it here on Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
Awesome. Thanks, Guy. Hey, we're still talking Super Bowl, and I know why someone might want to, because she won the office pool that I didn't even get invited to participate in.
There are only so many blocks, Jonathan. You got to get in soon.
I didn't even know what was happening.
I never win the blocks, so I'm really excited about this one.
Well, you're not the only one celebrating still.
That's true. That's right. A victory parade for the Super Bowl champs. Thousands of Kansas City Chiefs fans gathered today to celebrate the historic win. Let's take a look. A sea of red could be seen outside Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri, as people watch the parade. Officials say they expected more than 1 million people to pack the route down Grand Boulevard from 6th Street to Union Station. The Chiefs' Super Bowl 54 win was the organization's first in 50 years. Their previous victory came in Super Bowl IV in 1970 when they beat the Minnesota Vikings.
And there you just see all the players partying. I think someone might have a beer can in their hand. I think maybe we'll pretend that's soda, but they're living it up. And congrats to them. Again, we'll probably have more on this too coming up on our digital platform shortly. I know they were going to do some speaking. Oh yeah, that definitely looked like a beer can there. All right, live it up. Yeah, you have some time before you have to start practicing again, guys. All right, speaking of the Super Bowl, we're going to keep with this topic. This made big news that day.
I didn't even hear about this
Oh,
until
you did?
now.
Oh,
No.
man, this was all over TMZ.
Right, so Jay-Z is explaining why he and wife Beyonce were sitting during the national anthem at the Super Bowl, and he says it wasn't a silent protest. TMZ posted a video of the power couple and their 8-year-old daughter sitting while Demi Lovato performed the Star-Spangled Banner, but the rapper says it's because he was busy working. His company, Rock Nation, has a partnership with the NFL, which means they produce the Super Bowl halftime show. So Jay-Z says he and Beyonce were distracted. They were checking microphone levels and speaker layouts for the halftime performance.
Let's talk about that halftime show for a second.
Yes.
What did you think?
I loved it.
I did too. I thought it was really cool.
I
thought
don't
J-Lo
really
was killer.
Yeah.
Shakira was pretty good. She was really good, but I just felt like her performances were a little bit more like standard concert, and J-Lo brought it to the max, for sure.
They were both phenomenal.
What was your favorite part?
I mean, all of it. I loved all of it.
The costume was cool.
Oh, yeah.
They always go out. Let's move on to some other entertainment news for you guys.
Academy Award-winning actress Viola Davis has portrayed a lot of strong women on film, but her next big role, she actually has some real-life influence, and that's because she will appear as former First Lady Michelle Obama in a new Showtime series called First Ladies. Now, the show will delve into the personal and political lives of Michelle Obama, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Betty Ford. The roles of Ford and Roosevelt have not been cast yet, and the series air date has yet to be announced.
Betty Ford. You don't hear a lot about her.
I know. I can't wait. This is so up my alley.
Yeah, you're the political reporter for us here.
I love it.
Sounds very House of Cards,
excited.
maybe even. All right, there was some incredible video we got yesterday, that we still want to talk about. It's really cool.
Yes.
Tell us about it a little.
It's a magical moment off Maui. Now, a tour boat crew captured incredibly rare footage of a humpback whale trying to give birth to her calf. As Lisa Kubota explains, the mother whale pushed for an unusually long time before disappearing.
The whale-watching boat was 2 miles off of Lahaina on Monday morning. About an hour into the tour, crew members say the roughly 40-foot-long female approached their vessel with 2 male escorts.
They just started circling fast, circling, going back and forth and circling under the boat and everything.
For the first few minutes, even the employees didn't realize what they were witnessing.
Finally, it dawned on us that we were seeing something pretty fantastic that we don't think anybody else has ever seen before. At least it's not been filmed.
At one point, more of the calf started to appear.
Woo! Holy smokes, there's a baby! Bunch of us saw the baby come further out about to its dorsal fin, so maybe more than halfway out, and everybody's screaming.
But the calf went back into its mother's body with only its tail sticking out again. The vessel stayed for about an hour. The crew notified NOAA, which sent a response boat that continued to watch the mother until she disappeared into rougher waters. Since she was monitored for at least 2.5 hours, experts are concerned that the mother may have been in distress.
So this remains a mystery. We don't know if she had a successful birth or not.
Not that we know exactly how long these births take, but we believe they're much shorter. It may not be a happy ending, but still it's a reminder of just, again, the value of this habitat.
Experts say it will be a challenge to find her again, but they plan to use photos of her tail fins known as flukes to try to identify her and see if she has a calf. Lisa Kubota, Hawaii News Now.
What a cool visual. It's very planet Earth there.
I hope happy ending.
Yeah, I know. They said they're going to track it, so we'll find out.
Okay.
You haven't seen any whales this year either.
No.
I haven't either.
Nope. I haven't been out to Maui yet.
Please, I love it. The first one I see every season I get super excited
Yes.
about. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. That's everything. A busy news day that we're going to keep following for you all day long on our H&N digital platforms. And then, till then, I'm Jonathan Soppy, and this is Ashley. Thanks for watching This Is Now.